So sunny here and the birds are just like really chirping. So hopefully you can hear me okay outside, but I really like the sound of the birds in the background. I feel like they just add to the video. So I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. Today is Thursday, but because tomorrow is a holiday and my birthday, yay, and Easter Friday, going into a long weekend, a 4-day weekend for a lot of people, depending on what your work schedule is like or if you work. So I wanted to get this out a little early, and that gives us a little bit of a heads up for what we can expect with this full moon on Saturday. So you're probably going to find a lot of energy happening probably around family. That always happens. You know, people have different ways of doing things, and what we really want to do, because I feel like adding some of like the weekend into like the long weekend into the next week reading as well. So I think what you're going to get is I'm not going to do my dailies underneath YouTube Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and I'm going to add Easter Friday into this reading. So this is going to be from the 15th all the way to the 24th of April, and so we're going to get a lot of information here, which is great. So I'd love it if you guys could say hello if you're watching, and if you know how I roll, if you catch me live, you can have a card pull or a message, or you can ask a question. So I'm encouraging people to make sure that underneath YouTube they have clicked the bell button after they've subscribed, so you get notifications that I'm on live. As well, please make sure that you're following me. There are different ways through social media that you can click certain buttons and make like my stuff pop up onto your feed, etc. I don't 100% know how all of that stuff works, but I'm sure you do if you care to watch some of these. So the first thing that comes up, so these are the cards that I've chosen. I feel like this is kind of going to be a master reading because we have Easter here. It can be a very spiritual weekend for some people if they have those strong belief systems around the meaning behind Easter as well. So I have a birthday reading. We have a full moon in Libra, so I already did yesterday a reading for May as well as the full moon reading. So right away I'm getting addictions, okay? So what you're going to notice is, especially again when family starts to come up, we like to pick each other apart sometimes because we think we can, everybody's different, but sometimes we think we can be super honest with family. And actually, I feel like we can be really sensitive towards family as well. So say you are an overeater, okay? So you actually have like a eating disorder or something like that. This can create a lot of sensitivity around holidays. Maybe you're working on weight loss, things like that. So that's giving me lots of chills as well. So around the full moon, which is Saturday, again, I'm doing my ritual under the full moon a day before. So tomorrow is when the ritual is at 11 a.m. It's $11.11 to join us. It's going to be a really powerful ritual, I feel. I have some really beautiful people in that circle. So, and then that will be underneath for the replay, underneath VIP for my membership group. So if you have any questions about that, just ask. But what's coming up here is around the full moon, if you do have triggers around family, and especially around addictions, and the way people treat you in relation to your family, it might be a really important time to start letting some of that stuff go. Because what I get is it's just judgment, right? You might be judging yourself and you might be judging other people. And so the question is, how do we let go of judgment, right? How do we let go of judgment? Well, the key thing is it's also how we're viewing ourselves in the mirror as well. So if you look at yourself in the mirror, do you naturally go towards criticism? Or when you go to look in the mirror, do you actually go towards what it is that you like about yourself? And I feel like that's going to be really significant between the 15th and the 24th to start working on your positive affirmations and things like that. So if you don't know what a positive affirmation is, you're just saying an I am statement. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I've started doing this in my AM routine, and it's now like a mandatory thing that I do. And it's something that I continue to practice throughout the day. And sometimes it's easy to forget. So this is also just a reminder to start switching over like towards how you're looking at yourself. And as you begin to do that, you're going to find that the other people around you start treating you differently as well, because you don't have these negative thoughts towards yourself when you look in the mirror, okay? So that might be a little practice or exercise you want to do. That's what's coming up for people. Ooh, grounding, shielding, void. Okay, so yes, if like a card pulled, please, feeling anxious with everything bringing heaviness. Okay. So I know, Emily, you can't make it to the full moon ritual. So again, if you want to catch the replay, then you would become a part of the VIP. And also, what comes up here, Emily, and again, this is going to be for everyone, is the reason we don't want to have fear, right? We don't want to be like worried about things when we go into heavy situations or negative situations. Even though we know we're walking into something that might not be ideal, again, it's our mindset towards it. So if you're going in nervous about something, you want to clear your energy before you go into any situation, right? So how do we clear our energy before we walk into a situation is the question. I have Reiki training, and again, if you're a VIP underneath my membership, you can get certified through Reiki. I have Reiki 1 to 4. And before I change my prices over, which is May 17th, it's a great opportunity for an inexpensive way to get your training as well. And the reason why this is coming up is because when we do Reiki level 2, this has been like a godsend for me. It's something I do a lot more than I've ever done, is I do future distant healing when I'm feeling a little anxious about something that I have to do. So lately, for instance, I personally have been selling things underneath Facebook, okay? But not everybody feels comfortable meeting people online, right? So there have been times where I was picking up energy from people that want to buy something from me coming to my home. And I could just feel a lot of that. That's what I feel like people are feeling right now, other people's emotions. It might not be yours, but you're sensitive and you're picking up others. And that's what's creating the issue. So first of all, identify with it's probably not your energy, first of all. So this is going to be really important for people, again, over the weekend and next week. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of turbulence. And not to say that in a bad way to scare you, but when I think about turbulence, I think about things are going to happen that we didn't plan to happen. And so pay attention to Mercury retrograde. When is Mercury retrograde and how does that affect us? Because I think we can plan for those things just a tiny bit better. So when you do your level 2 Reiki training, what you do is you call in 3 symbols and you call in Reiki energy for a specific situation. So say you have to go to your parents' house for dinner and there's someone there that you don't like. Okay, just using that as an example. They could have like been abusive towards you in the past and you still have to go there. Okay, so what you would do is you'd call in that healing energy. You would actually do like a 10-minute healing session on yourself, and it's sent to the future. All right, and what you'll find is you'll clear your energy, but then the energy is transferred to that specific time. So when you walk into that so-called negative situation, you're no longer holding on to that attachment anymore, and you'll actually notice that you feel a lot better. Okay, so that's about pre-planning for things as well. So those are tools that we have to learn sometimes. Okay, and it's up to you how you choose to do that. But this is significant for everyone, by the way, so thank you for asking. Happy Thursday, which is kind of like a Friday. Derek's hopping on. I was just on Derek's live. Derek is amazing. He was on my first episode of my podcast, so you can go back and watch that underneath YouTube. Derek wants a card, and so does Kondo. So we'll go with Kondo because she asked first. And I'm getting a lot of heaviness here. So Kondo, again, this is a general message for everyone. What I'm getting is to make sure that you're doing something with your energy, okay? So some people need to sit and some people need to be busy. And we go through stages. But what I'm getting for this specific reading is that we need to keep ourselves preoccupied so that we don't go into a negative state of mind. So what are some things that we can do to occupy our body, our mind, in order to feel better emotionally? So again, I'm providing the full moon ritual. That's one way you can occupy your time to start getting healthier. The other thing too is, sure, we can like learn, and we can write and we can read and things like that, and we can listen to videos. But what I'm really getting is listening to the intuition. What is your energetic frequency telling you? For instance, my water is right over here. I'm thinking, am I supposed to be drinking my water? Energy-wise, I'm feeling like I want the water, but something's telling me to hold back. So there are underlying reasons why we need to listen to that energetic push and pull, our intuition, what we're being guided towards. And I think it's because when I'm coming on here and I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, I want my energy to be as calm as it can be. And when I have to use the washroom, it makes me feel a little more like buzzy, and I want to be chill. So like our logical brain will really get in the way. Okay, so kind of specifically as you're triggering this for a lot of other people, so be really mindful of like what you feel like you're supposed to be doing and what you're not supposed to be doing, and let that energy move, right? So if your body wants to be somewhere, let your body be there. And if your body doesn't want to be somewhere, listen to that as well, okay? Super, super important. Sometimes we don't want to disappoint others, and that's what I'm kind of getting is like, well, I can't not do this. I don't want to disappoint, or I can't not do this because everybody else is doing it or everybody else is going to be there, right? So be true to ourselves at this time, okay? Okay, so card pull Derek saying, so Derek, you have some really special energy. I like it. You have communication and inner truth, so it very much relates to what we were just talking about. So I'm not going specific into days, what day is going to be what, because I really want to keep this light and allow you guys to trust how things come in for you. And then you want to reflect back on the weekly. So maybe you want to watch this week, because it goes until Sunday as well, okay? Because this is for next week. So I don't know if you see this, but we get this like, and guys, if you ask for a message but you don't listen, then that's fine. But I would recommend be present when you ask a question as well. It's super important just to really receive. Keeping in mind, you can also watch this at any time, but it is really helpful to be present. So you see this little like path here, Derek. What you're kind of triggering for the group is to really protect your energy, okay? And sometimes the word protection can also be very fear-based, and some people don't like that word. But the way I look at this is more seal your energy, seal it. So when we do any type of energy work, we set an intention, we go in to do a practice, and then we integrate energy and theta healing, whatever it is, and then we kind of like seal up our energy. We zip it all up and we close it all off so that we're no longer connected to anybody else at all. Again, it's not fear-based, but it's we go in with an intention, we do our work, we get out of it, and then seal it. So I'm getting, for anyone who's feeling like they're reattaching their energy to other people's, I would just say see yourself in a bag with a zipper, and you're going back into your own body and you're zippering it up, okay? Like a little bodysuit. Close it up completely, and you can say something like, I now seal this with love and light, or something like that. But I feel like that's really important for us to be mindful of, that we're not attaching ourselves to anyone else's energies, okay? And it's super, super important. A lot of empaths feel that way, okay? So pay close attention to how you're choosing to close up your energy from others, because the last thing we want to do is create a block when it comes to other people, right? We want to actually feel more open, but we want to make sure that we're feeling good too. So very fine line there of how we open up energy and how we close energy, okay? And again, these are really great tools that I teach in Reiki training as well. And Akashic Records is the same thing. So Obsidian's coming up again. Is Amanda. All right. So I'm getting a little fatigued, okay? So what comes up here is we want to let go of being materialistic, okay? Sometimes around holidays and things like that too, even though we're reading like next week's energy, the holidays seems to, and the full moon seems to have an impact. Because when we're manifesting, often we'll be like, oh, I want to manifest that house, I want to manifest that diamond ring, whatever it is. And what we're getting here is to be really, really, really clear and clean with what it is that we'd like to attract, and make sure that it's really like what you want. Because if we start attracting things in our life that we think our logical brain wants, we really want to make sure, again, tuning into energy, what is it that I really, really want for myself? So when it comes to goal setting, be really, really conscientious and clear of maybe why you want that. What is your purpose behind that? And that's really uncovering the layers. And that's where, if that relates to you, a healing session with me would be great. I'm also doing until Friday night, which is like tomorrow night. I'm doing 30-minute sessions for only $60. And that's for members only. So if you want to just even hop into the membership group, you'll get like that opportunity as well. And again, May 17th, my services are going to go to 333 for my coaching. And so the membership is going to be a great place to get a lot of information and take advantage, especially until then. And then I'm going to be going also into packages to be working with people so that we can really get ahead. All right. So I feel quite good now about the resources that I'm able to provide, and I'm going to continue doing that through my recordings. So let's see. Isabel, we're going to go into you. I'm getting a lot of tension around my spine. Okay. I love unicorns, by the way. I had a picture of on my phone of like National Unicorn Day. And my fiance was like, what is that? And I'm like, it's funny. So I'm getting for you, Isabel, just to be really focused on your own energy. Focus less on what other people are doing and focus a bit more on yourself, okay? Because when we allow anybody to take away our energy, or we give people energy that maybe aren't worthy of it, I would say you might be like, that might be self-esteem related, okay? And we also don't want to downplay anything that's awesome in her life, right? It's like, oh, this is just whatever. No, we want to shine, we want to celebrate. So you would also benefit from our membership group because we celebrate each other in that space and we raise each other's vibration, okay? We don't put other people down. We don't let other people take our energy. We actually just celebrate each other. And sometimes when we have the right people around us, everything just amplifies, okay? So still related to the manifestation work that we were just talking about, okay? It might be like, I want this type of person in my life, right? That's a good thing to manifest, because if you can be really clear on the people that you want in your life and really focus on that, you're gonna find that you get a lot of healing from the others that you're around, okay? So be really mindful this week of who you are exposing yourself to. I would love a card today. Thank you in advance, Susan says. No problem. I'm feeling really emotional. Again, around full moons, it can cause a lot of emotion. So we want to make sure that we're raising our vibration as much as we can. We have nourishment, relationships, and health. So this came up for the May reading. Okay, I was talking a lot about nutrition if you didn't catch that. I absolutely relate to nutrition myself right now. I'm really, now that the weather's getting better, I find I do a whole turnaround with working more with oils and my tinctures, etc. So what's coming up here is to really just celebrate and enjoy your physical health. The more you can be grateful for your health and the more you love your health that you currently have, the more health you will have. So if you are one of those people who dwells on belly fat or something like that, guess what's going to happen? Like, you're literally telling your body negative things about yourself, and you could potentially cause illness to yourself by what you're speaking to yourself. So this goes back into our I am statements on just to be really conscientious of making healthier choices for yourself, and maybe educating yourself a bit more on what your health needs as well. So that's why we get readings as well. I do complimentary consults as well, especially when it comes to my products. I like to actually chat with somebody first before maybe making recommendations if possible, okay? So we're kind of doing like a full circle here, and that's when I know we're about to end. You're welcome. Hi, Emily. Used to be in love with unicorns too. That's so funny. So in conclusion, we have Goddess and Insight, okay? This is going to sum up our entire reading from the 15th to the 24th of April. So again, if you typically watch my dailies, the only place I'll be doing dailies is underneath TikTok over the next few days. Otherwise, my YouTube will not have those dailies. Please make sure you watch today's. I did a live underneath there. I'm getting clear seeing and clear sentience as well. So pay really close attention to what you are sensing over this period of time. I sense that there are people who are very, very intuitive. They have beautiful gifts and they might not understand them. They might not know how to tap into them. So I would say continue to learn and grow and explore what all of this even means to you. And we don't want to analyze things too much around this time, but we definitely want to go deeper. And so it's a time for really working through what's coming up and how to amplify your energy, okay? So reach out to me, robinsealing.com, if you're interested in any of those things that I said that I have happening. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and week. And maybe I'll see some of you guys on TikTok now that I'm on there. Bye for now.